Right, mate, the running. Sheffield United, Norwich, Leeds United, 8 games left. What do you reckon?
Nervous, mate. Obviously, we've gone through the fixtures. We've probably both got different opinions. But yeah, it's just nervous, isn't it? I'm really nervous. But listen, when was the last time Leeds were in a position like this? Do you know what I mean? As I say, we've been out of the Premiership 15 years now, and to be within 8 games of getting promoted and getting back to the promised land, it's absolutely huge. And yeah, I'm excited, like a nervous tension, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm the same, mate. I guess what I'm most nervy about, and most Leeds fans are talking about this, you know, the fixtures coming up. I mean, in our previous videos, we'd always speak about us staying in our lane, and we can't anymore. I mean, we can to an extent, but we've also got to look on opposition fixtures. I mean, I guess my question is, Joe, you know, do you think there's any pressure on Leeds? As I was talking about, hunted, what do you reckon that mentality is now?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for me, the Sheffield United game was massive for me, because I just thought it gives a little bit of a cushion. If we win that game with 5 points and we've got a little bit of a cushion, now we can't afford to slip up at all. We can't. Ultimately, I know it's unlikely, but we need to win the 8 games to be in with a chance. Do you know what I mean? Because look, Norwich, we'll go through their fixtures and where we see them dropping points, or even if we do. But for me, Norwich could win them all. Sheffield United could win them all.
Definitely.
So ultimately, we have to win every game. I know it's only a point, but I know that's the thing, isn't it? We're relying on others now, which is shite, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, mate. I think. I mean, if you revert back to the Reading game, it was perfect. Well, not perfect, but it was, once again, we spoke about in the other video, didn't we, about chance creation, taking chances. But then we hark back to that Sheffield United game, and it's the first time me and Joe have been together really since that. And it was one of those where, like we've said before, we could have gone 5 points ahead. We now find ourselves a point behind. Does it make that much of a difference?
For me, yeah.
In terms of the end running, do you think there's still pressure on Leeds, isn't there?
Yeah, of course.
There always would have been.
Listen, we're going into a game, we go behind, we're 1-0 down at half time. You know, we as fans, I don't care what, you know, players come out and they say, oh, 1 game at a time, all that sort of stuff, but trust me, they will know if Sheffield United are winning, for example, and Norwich are winning, we're behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's huge pressure.
I agree.
It's huge pressure.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Like you said, Joe, it's the fact that any time we could win 8 games out of 8, but they could win 8 games out of 8. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, look at the West Brom thing. After we got beat by West Brom, we won 7 games on the bounce. So when you look at it and you think, can we really win 8 games? It's doable.
It is doable.
Sheffield United have had 7 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah.
So winning 8 games in a row is doable. Do you know what I mean? So we could do it. I'm not saying we will, and I don't want people to think, you know, I'm studying going, yeah, we're going to win all 8 and we're going to win the league. That's not. I'm just saying it is within.
We can do it, can't we?
We can do it. Yeah.
You know, we saw earlier on in the season, didn't we, when we didn't have. Who was it? I think Pablo was out, or Ruth was out, and we went on that ridiculous spell, didn't we? It was about 7 or 8 games unbeaten. So it is doable. Yeah. Now, my question is, Leeds United of old, we've always felt the pressure. Now, we're talking about in the other video, we've spoken about Norwich, we've spoken about West Brom, we've spoken about the big teams coming to Ellen Road. And it's been in and out, hasn't it, really? We've coped with the big games, but also we haven't coped with the big games. Now, on the running, do you think, because pressure's massive in these last 8.
Mentality-wise, I'm not worried about them, just for the simple fact, like, look at how we as a fan base were after QPR. Bloody hell, people had us written off and it was game over. But the lads didn't.
No.
And they came out and they battered West Brom 4-0.
Yeah.
So for me, in terms of the boys and the mentality within the squad and the way Bielsa will have them, I can't see them being affected too much. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Leeds of old, maybe, but again, we've got really no to compare it with, mate.
No,
do you know what I mean?
We haven't.
So
I guess the only thing we can hark back to is the Monk era, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a different ethos this season, isn't it? So Norwich, Sheffield United. I just think it's going to go. Honestly, so that's what they want to know as well.
Yeah.
Actually, last. I mean, it's something we should do at the end of the video, but I think it's good to maybe get mine and your views on where we're going to finish and then discuss why we think that's going to happen. So what do you reckon, mate? And Norwich and Sheffield United fans will be watching as well.
Yeah. So. It's so hard for me. Listen, they're both. Just looking here at my notes, I fancy them to win the home games. Right? You know, Norwich good at home, Sheffield United unreal at home. It's almost half the fixtures are, home.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? I said, I think Sheffield United could win it.
Yeah,
I really do. I think Sheffield United, how they close teams out. I don't think you can say to me in 4 or 5 games' time you'd be stunned if they start conceding a goal. I don't think I would be, Joe. I genuinely don't think I would be. I think maybe 8 games I'd be like, whoa. But 4 or 5 games, I'm not too sure. And Norwich.
What was that stat you told me earlier? About Sheffield United international break.
Yeah, so Sheffield United this season, every time they've come back from an international break, they haven't won a game. So, I mean, that's something to cling on to, if anything. McGoldrick, Egan, Stevens, all on international duty with Ireland. Yeah. So that's something to cling on to, I guess, isn't it, for the remaining games?
Actually, just on a point on that, Paddy Bamford told Mick McCarthy that he didn't want to go. He didn't want to, which I thought was great. Because he could have gone and he could have got injured, then we would be up shit creek, you know what I mean, without Roof and Bamford. But anyway, back to this. I don't know. I think, look, listen, they're not going to go through the rest of the season without losing a game or conceding for that matter. It's the Championship. And listen, I mean, I'm looking at my running here. I've gotten beaten Bristol City at home, though. You know what I mean? I just can't see past Sheffield United winning the home games.
Would you ultimately think the top 2, Sheffield United, do you think they'll get in there? Who do you think is going to slip out if we're to get in there?
If we're to get
in, who's going to slip out?
Based on fixtures, I would say Norwich.
Norwich going to slip out.
Which is quite surprising for me because a couple of, people might say, hang on a minute, you're changing your tune. But I've took time to analyse and have a look. I think
that happens, mate. Fixtures change, results change. Of course, it's going to change it.
And Norwich, for me, have a very, very difficult fixture away at the Riverside after the international break.
Definitely,
and all it takes is a couple of losses. Listen, all of these squads, both ours, Norwich and Sheffield United, not many of them have experience in getting from Championship to Prem.
No, none at all.
Do they?
None at all.
You know what I mean? Can you think of many players that have done it in them squads, if any at all?
Any of ours, no. I can't.
There is none, right?
No.
Sheffield United, anyone?
I was thinking Sharp's
no, it's League One.
Norwood, maybe. Ollie Norwood, Brighton.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But Norwich, definitely not. They're all new, fresh, young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some from Germany and whatnot. So, all it takes, for example, let's say Norwich come back and they get beaten, they'll get shit housed. This is my opinion. It'll either be a draw or Borough will win. And then pressure does start to really tell, you know what I mean? Have Norwich really had to deal with that pressure yet?
Not yet.
No.
They've not. I mean, we always talk about them slipping off, don't we?
That's what I'm saying.
We always talk about them. They've not had that period yet.
No.
I mean, arguably maybe at the start of the season they didn't really hit the heights. Then they came on, didn't they?
Well, after we beat them, right? I think they went and beat Borough at their place, and then after then it was just boom.
Yeah. And I think they are. Listen. I don't think many teams have come to Elland Road and done what Norwich did.
No.
They were. I thought they controlled the game. The atmosphere they quelled us. Definitely, all the Leeds fans were quiet.
I mean, they got lucky. They
did get lucky.
There was a lot of like I say, deflection straight into Pukki's path and all this sort of stuff. And
deflection for the first goal back in the net.
Yeah, exactly. So they got lucky, but ultimately
we lost the game.
Them and West Brom are the only teams for me that have soundly beat us this season.
Beat us, yeah. I'd agree with that. I'd agree. I think opposition-wise, I mean, you still didn't answer the question. He's
dying to get me out. Listen, break down each fixture, tally up the points, and then we'll see who's where. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
because it's the running in it. We're doing it for all. We're doing it for Norwich, Sheffield United, and Leeds.
Yeah.
So do you want to start, mate? Where should we start? Norwich or Blades?
Norwich, because it's positive for me. Anyway, they go away to Middlesbrough at the Riverside. Now, Middlesbrough on a bad run of form, don't get me wrong, but it has to turn around. Gibson's not going to get rid of Pulis. They're going to make the playoffs for me, so with that in mind, they need to start picking up points. And I see them shithousing Norwich and beating Norwich at the Riverside.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. It's one way or another, really, isn't it? There's no draw in this game, nowhere. For me, anyway. Watch someone clip this up when they get a draw. I can see Joe's line of thought, and I'm ready on with that. I just think they've got a little bit to. I think this could be the game where Pulis goes.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think Norwich beat him soundly, and I think he's gone. I don't know if any of them are playing for him anymore, mate.
Right, okay.
I don't know if any of them are playing for him anymore. It looks like they can't even put in a performance against.
I mean, the issue is there, right? He's like Hugo's for me not a goal scorer,
no,
right?
No.
And Britt Sombalonga is given an hard time. he keeps bringing him off halfway through games and stuff. So in regards to what you're saying about him playing for them, you might be right. And
it's the formations as well, and every time you see Borough play, it's even if you just put 2 up top or 3 up top, just maybe that Lewis Wing who was good against us, he was quality against us, and then play, I don't know, a Sambalonga, we're not going to go about Borough all game, but it's one of those things where you feel if Borough were a little bit more positive, then they get the result against Norwich, but because I think Pulis is a dinosaur, the English, the English Mourinho, I think it's going to be, I think Norwich are going to beat them.
For me, Borough win, 1-0.
So Blades next game, so Blades at home to Bristol City. Bristol City stumbling off a little bit, not doing that well at the minute. They've sort of veered off. Draw at home against Ipswich. Blades going into that one 10 unbeaten, 7 without conceding. How do you reckon that's going to go?
I can't see past the Blades win. 3 points, probably comfortable as well. They're just so strong. Listen, they are going to have to lose and they are going to have to concede soon.
It's not Bristol though, is it?
Yeah, I just don't see it, especially at home. Listen, you got to win your own games, and I fancy Sheffield United to win the remaining home games.
I mean, well, exactly, Joe. We talk about how sound we are at home. They've got a better record than us at home, so you've got to see how when teams are better than Leeds at home, what a fortress we've made Ellen Road this season. You've got to think. Of
course.
It's good. Anyway, we move on. Millwall at home. I've gone for. I think it's going to be a narrow 2-1 Leeds win. I think this is going to be the only game of the season that Millwall turn up for.
Yeah, probably. It'll be cagey. I agree with you, mate. It's going to be tight. If we get an early goal, it won't be. But how often has that happened?
I'd love the floodgates to open against Millwall. How great 100%. Would that be?
And confidence and everything, it'd just be like, right, we're back on. So hopefully it is comfortable, but I agree with you. I think it's going to be cagey, and but we will pick up 3 points.
3 points. And then Norwich home to QPR.
Well, we don't even need to talk about that really. 3 points.
3 points. Blades. Then they've got obviously the alternate fixtures. Preston away for the Blades. What do you think to that one?
Point. I like Preston. I like what they do. I really like Alex Neil. They're a good squad, and like I said, Blades are going to have to drop points and concede soon, and I think that happens at Preston. Listen, look what Preston did to Norwich. What was it? 3-1. So listen, I see Preston with.
Forgot about
I've changed my opinion. I'm thinking winning, but no, I've got down here. I'll stick with what I've said. Preston get a point.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Blades winning. I've got Blades winning that one, just shutting them out, and probably a Billy Sharp winner off his arse or something like that. But like Joe said, Preston scalped a few teams this season. Borough lately, Norwich at home. These aren't a team to be sniffed at. So if Blades could go there and Preston, it's quite similar, aren't they? How they set up, defensively really strong, and they'll nick a goal at either end.
I like Preston.
I like Preston. I think it's a narrow Sheffield United win. And then obviously we've got the alternate fixture in Birmingham at home. Away. How do you reckon that was?
I've said before that I fancy Birmingham at shithouses. I said it in my live stream, and people will know this. I've had a change of opinion. Reason being is because I'm a Leeds fan and I want us to go up. But also, there's a bit of turmoil at the minute. Obviously, with the possible points deduction, could they have had it by then? Would they be in a relegation dogfight? Would that help or hinder them? I'm not sure. But we owe Gary Monk one, we owe Birmingham one.
Bit of revenge.
Yeah, and BPF won't be in goal. Which is why we lost the reverse fixture. But yeah, 3 points. 3 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a draw for that one. I just think it's going to be cagey. It's never an easy place to go, St Andrews. That time where Pedraza scored and we beat them 3-1, that's never happens. That never happens, does it? But yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more tight than that. I think once again, it's going to be a game that they turn up for. Joe? It's exactly. They're going to turn up for it big time. Shea Adams and Jukovic up front. I think we're going to nab a point there. And then obviously we've got Norwich next. They've got, Reading at home.
3 points.
Another one off, 3 points, and then obviously the alternate fixtures that we keep banging on about, or I keep banging on about. Blades have then got Birmingham away.
That's so huge.
It's massive.
That fixture there,
the 2 fixtures are massive.
We've gone for alternate points, so I've gone 3-1 and you've gone 1-3. In terms of the fixtures, if we won both of them, it could be huge. Do you know what I mean? And Sheffield United drop points in that game. Obviously, we'll go through the points in a second, but them 2 games for me, Tuesday, Saturday, are massive for both clubs.
Huge.
All it takes. Listen, if we can beat Millwall and then get maximum points from them. Wow,
it's pressure though, isn't it? Who's going to be able to cope?
Of course,
with it?
I don't know which comes first, if it's the Tuesday or the Saturday game. But can you imagine? Obviously, Sheffield United dropping points, we pick up.
So we've got Preston Tuesday,
right?
Then Birmingham the weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if we can beat Preston and they lose to Birmingham, it's huge, man. It's huge. I can't stress the importance of that. I said March was a massive month. We're coming to the end of March now. The next big thing for me is them two alternate fixtures. It's huge. But Blades, I have got getting maximum points from Birmingham. Yourself.
All that and then boom.
Yeah.
I think Brum will get one there. I think it'll be a draw. I just thought, because like you say about this whole embargo thing, maybe Brum can pick up something, start to pick up a little bit of momentum, because guys, this embargo goes through. Can they lose points? I don't know. Can they lose
12
points.
So
apparently
12 points. So I think
you can buy a dogfight, aren't they?
you can buy players whilst it's been investigated, but when you're under an actual embargo,
was it Christian Pedersen? Was it Pedersen the left back?
I'm not too sure.
We were after him. Do you remember? Pedersen, yeah, in the summer we were after him apparently. We face Preston.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
That's where I go for a point. I think I like Preston. I like what they do. I think they're okay at home.
I think they're just gonna.
Yeah, a point. I hope I'm wrong though, because like I say, but I see us getting a point.
So I reckon we're gonna get 3 there. I do. I think we've always had a good record down there at Deepdale. Ever since the Grayson days, when I think he used to just lie down, didn't he, every time Leeds get a towel. But yeah, I think we'll have enough quality against Preston. I think they're quite a rigid side, and I think we'll cut through. I think there's no way we're not going to create chances against Preston. No way. Next on the list, Norwich have got Wigan away. What have you gone for him, mate? I've just seen what you put on the cards.
So I've gone out big and I've said to get a point. The reason being, listen, Wigan are good at home. They are good at home.
Yeah.
They turned a corner recently. I think they beat Bolton 5-2. I know Bolton's Bolton. And listen, they're only 3 points above the relegation zone. I really like their manager. I think it's Paul Cook.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, by then, you're 3 fixtures in, so there's only 5 games left. They might need them points, and Wigan has been a good place for them. I know Norwich are levels above, but being a Leeds fan and wanting Norwich to drop points, I say Wigan pick up a point there.
And that could be pivotal, really, because that could be a point in the season where, yes, I picked them out getting maximum points up to Wigan, but if we're right on their heels, Sheffield United are right on their heels, is that going to be a point where a young squad starts to feel the heat a little bit? Okay, and then we move on to the Blades. Millwall at home. I mean, we've both gone for the same there, haven't we?
Maximum points.
It's going to be a maximum.
Like I say, it'll be a totally different Millwall that plays us, I'm telling you.
Yeah, there'll be a different Millwall that plays Leeds, and yeah, I don't see him. I see him rolling over it at the Blades, to be honest. And then we've got the big one, haven't we? The big one, the big Yorkshire derby.
Yeah.
Wednesday at home. Earlier on this season, we battered Wednesday, didn't we? We took them to the cleaners. 1-1 battering, which you don't say that much of, really. 1-1 battering, and yeah, it was one of those games really where we had to win that game. Douglas obviously missing a couple of chances, but yeah, it was just one of those games that we're not. We weren't able to finish off really. But this time it's a completely different Sheffield Wednesday coming to town in it under Steve Bruce.
I really don't like Sheffield Wednesday.
Do you not?
No. I respect Sheffield United, and I don't mind Sheffield United, but there's just something about Sheffield Wednesday. I really don't like them. But yeah, I see us getting maximum points. Don't get me wrong, they have turned a corner under Bruce. Again, it could be a massive game because they could be on the cusp of the playoffs. They could be just in the door. It is going to be a huge game, like I say. But this is the championship for you, because a couple of weeks back, everyone would have said nailed on 3 points. But because of results since, the complexion changes, and you're like, actually, that's a difficult game. Much like the Villa one. Villa were out of it, and now look at them. You know what I mean? They're steamrolling. So this could all change. My opinion could all change within a matter of games. But I still fancy us to pick up maximum points.
I do. I mean, I think the first game it indicates, there's not been a change of players.
No.
There's not been an influx of players for Sheffield Wednesday. They've got the exact same players. Yes, they might not have been able to, I think it was his name, I can't remember, the Dutch guy, the Wednesday boss, I can't remember his name.
Oh, no.
Lukai, I think it was, or something like that. But, they still have the same squad, and I still don't believe they have the quality to deal with us going forward. And I think, we'll have full strength back then. Berardi might have incorporated himself in the team a little bit more. Might have gone to a back 3, I don't know.
Even Reach's goal. that was just out of the blue.
It's just fluke.
Yeah, exactly.
He does that 100 times, it's going in once.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I'll be brutally honest with you guys, I don't think Wednesday deserved anything out of that game. Leeds were dominant, we didn't put them away, as is the story of the season, isn't it, Joe? Yeah. But yeah, I thoroughly expect us to beat Wednesday at home, and it's going to be a bit different, isn't it? Because derbies with Wednesday are always naturally tight, aren't they? Yeah. They probably have the better over us in the past 5 or 6 years, don't they?
And I just don't like them.
No, I don't like them either. Norwich have got Wednesday at home. What do you reckon to that, Joe? Different Wednesday team, obviously, like we've spoken about.
Listen, I can't see past Norwich at home.
Norwich at home.
All my fixtures, I've got them picking up maximum points, and I think they beat Chef Wednesday at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a point. I think Norwich are going to pick up a point against them. I think Wednesday going for the playoffs. I think they're going to be really resolute. I think the only reason we get the edge on them is because it's a Yorkshire derby and the atmosphere's amped up a little bit.
Do you know? It's mad the similarity between the fixtures. You know, Chef Wednesday. We've got the Brum, Preston North End. So, it is still close, like I say.
Very close, yeah. So I'm going to go with a point there. Obviously, we move down to the Blades, and the Blades have then got Forest at home.
Yeah.
Forest sort of in and out this season, aren't they? Forest, they've not really here, not really there. Good results, but bad results. They've shown really that they don't have much bottle, in my personal opinion.
Do you think they'd be higher up the table if they'd kept Karanka?
I don't see the difference. I don't see the difference O'Neill's made. I mean, if you're a Forest fan and you're watching this, you might have seen a difference in play. We don't watch them every week, but results-wise, it's similar, isn't it? The exact same. I've got Norwich winning this comfortably at home. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I've gone for 3 points as well. I've got. I'm the same as Conor. Like I say, I have got Sheffield United beating Forest comfortably.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so then we move over to I think it's Wigan, isn't it? Wigan at home for Leeds United. Comfortable win?
Yeah, easy. No, easy, honestly. They're a different kettle of fish away from home.
Yeah, definitely.
We beat them at their place, which was massive. I think up until that point, they hadn't been beaten since League One. At home.
Definitely.
And we went there and got a 1-0 win, I think it was. Was it 2-1? Oh, yeah, shit, they had the free. Yeah,
lucky won it.
Yeah, my bad, sorry. My memory's shot to shit. But I went to that game as well, that's crazy. But anyway, we went there, we got the 3 points. Away from home, they're a different animal.
Too much quality,
we beat them and beat them well.
And then, obviously, guys, we're then going to move into the last 3, which are massive. Is it going to be still in the balance at this point?
I think it is. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, are there going to be teams streets ahead? You're hoping it's Leeds, but you just don't know. So obviously we move to Norwich, Stoke away.
Yeah, it's nip and tuck. This is what I mean. I still think all 3 are in with an opportunity of going up automatic at this point. No one's run away with it. Without doing the points tally, I think we're all still in with the shout at this point. I think Norwich beat Stoke. I think Stoke are garbage, just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being a bit optimistic here. I think Stoke will get a win.
That's the first. That's a first.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I just think they'll get a win. It'll be a nip and tuck 1-0. Windy day at the Stoke, hopefully, and Norwich won't be able to deal with it. I'm praying. On to the Blades playing Hull away, and we both said it's a tricky one. Grosicki, Martin, Jared Bowen, full of Championship superstars anyway. Yes. So very difficult to beat Hull. And is there going to be a potential for a playoff push for Hull? Maybe. What do you think to that one? What do you think Blades are going to do there?
Like I say, I like Hull, and like we've touched on before, they did a job on us at Ellen Road, I thought. Like I say, I'm a fan of Nigel Atkins. He's a good manager, and he's got them playing decent football for me. And I fancy them to beat Sheffield United.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot of it's to do with the fact it's a Yorkshire derby as well, in effect.
And Hull will want to beat Sheffield United as well. They'll want to beat Sheffield United. It's not going to be a case of we'll just roll over.
Yeah, of course.
And let's be right, quality-wise on the pitch, I think Hull have got a better squad.
Yeah.
Quality-wise,
Grosicki and Bowen are 2 top players.
And then we move on to this is one for me. It's the trickiest of the 8. Leeds go down to Griffin Park. I believe it's on a weeknight. I think it's on a weeknight.
I'll tell you what, it's on the Monday, because Good Friday's Wigan at home, and then on Easter Monday we go to Brentford.
Right, okay, well there you go. And that's, for me it's never been a good hunting ground for Leeds. Last season I remember going down, was it 3-1 last year? They just battered us, didn't they? They played us off the park.
They're a good side.
Listen, they're a very good, aren't they? They're a very, very good side. I feel if they had a bit of consistency with managers, they'd be right up there. to be honest, mate, I think this is going to be a loss for Leeds. I think we're going to struggle to get anything down there. And if we do get something, it's going to be a smash and grab.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
This is where, on my final tally, the season hinges for me.
2 massive games, the last 2 as well, isn't it?
But I think the Brentford one, if we win, we go up.
Yeah.
However, this is not normally but I've only got us picking up a point, and that's quite pivotal in where my final standings are, and you'll see why in a moment. You might have been totting it down, but yeah, I've got us picking up a point. But if we win that game, I think we get promoted.
Yeah, no, it's not a bold statement, because Brentford, it's one of those games, isn't it? We look at Villa this season, we look at games where we've gone away from, even Reading, where we've gone away from home, and we've even Borough 1-1. Games that we wouldn't have done anything in last season, and we've gone away and done it. Can this be a game that's going to galvanise Leeds? I hope so. I don't think so. But the last 2, which is obviously where the pressure's going to be ramping up. Norwich, Blackburn at home.
They win.
They win.
If they were going away, maybe I'd say Blackburn could pick something up. But they beat Blackburn at home. They beat Blackburn at home.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Blades, it's not looking good, is it? Blades have got Ipswich at home. I mean, that's it's going to be a cricket score, I think. I don't think Ipswich are going to have much to play for.
If you get beat if you don't beat Ipswich in your last home game of the season, you don't deserve to go.
No, of course not. No. I mean, Ipswich, I think even the Ipswich fans will admit they're a League. They are a League One side. You know, a massive game at Ellen Road. Then we face Villa, which a resurgent Villa. Jack Grealish. He's our Pablo, isn't he? When he steps into that side, I think a lot of people slag him off, but
it's a bit of a wanker.
He's one of these players, you know, there's a reason why Tottenham offered 35 million for him in the summer. His quality, and I think he changes that team. I don't know what you think about that, mate.
Well, I have to agree, because the proof's in the pudding. You've seen it.
When he's been in, they were winning. When he's been out, they've lost. When he's been back in again, they're winning again, aren't they?
I'm hoping by that point Villa are in the playoffs and don't have nothing to play for.
Do you not think positions make an impact there? Do you not think managers go into it? You know, the positions in the playoffs, who are you going to play?
Players, though.
Maybe not the players,
I'm not sure. But anyway, I've got us picking up maximum points, but I'm hoping by that point Villa are in there comfortably, and we're still going for that top 2, as I say, and we beat them at home. Listen, look at the reverse fixture, it was absolutely unreal, more of the same. But yeah, I see us beating them. What?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at my prediction, and I'm thinking, I'm going to agree with Joe. I think it's going to be, you know, I'm harking back to that era under the lights with Gary Monk. We beat him 2-0 at home, and I'm hoping for a similar atmosphere, similar leads. Yeah, we'll pick up all 3 points. We're going to beat them 2-0. Then the last game of the season, where it is going to be on a knife edge. A knife edge if it goes to how me and Joe predicted it. If it's like that, it is going to go down to the wire. Now, Norwich, Villa away. Now, if we've just beaten them at home, are they going to be wanting to bounce back against Norwich?
I've got Villa winning.
I've got Villa winning as well.
They're
Why
different.
do you think that?
It's just different beast at home, every team, right?
So why are we going to beat them and Norwich won't?
No, because we've got them at home.
Yeah, so you think that's going to be a big factor?
They're away, yeah. They're away. Norwich are away. It's a massive game. Listen, if it's still there at the end of the season, game before, maybe not. I don't know. I think mentally, fan bases, if they've got no to play for, or if they're comfortable in the playoffs, they'll want to beat Norwich, because they want to be the team that we said, you're not going up, you're not going up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking try to be positive, because I want us to go up. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway because of where my final standings are. But yeah, Villa win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then the last game. I mean, you look at the last games, guys, and like I've just said, obviously Joe's just predicted Villa away win. But you look at the last games. I'm just looking at them now. Leeds have actually got the easier one. So the Blades next,
which isn't a good sign.
No, it's not. I mean, remember that Burton one a couple of years back on the Monk? That was an easy fixture, wasn't it? And we lost that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So Blades, then, you know, if it's all riding on it, they've gone Stoke away.
I've got them picking up 3 points.
3 points. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm favouring Stoke a lot on this actually. I think Stoke will pick up a point there. I think they'll want to finish the season on a high, as every club wants to do really. But I can see Joe's point of view. I can see. I don't know. I'm teetering between that one, to be honest. And obviously Leeds. I mean, if it's riding on it and we don't beat Ipswich away, then we don't deserve to go up, do we, Joe?
We beat Ipswich. And we beat them well. But it all feels insignificant because of where my points are at, which is a real surprise for me and probably you guys watching it. But I can only give you what my thoughts are based on the fixtures. You might agree or disagree. Listen, I've actually got us not losing a game, but it's still not enough. Final points. I've got 20 for Leeds. Yourself?
Yeah, I've got 19 points in the remaining 24, which is, I mean, Joe, that's 90%. That's a big point tally. That's a massive.
That's what I'm saying.
Tally.
I've not even got us losing the game, but it's still not enough.
I mean, are they all realistic? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
What I'm saying.
And then obviously we've got Norwich, 16 out of 24 points for me.
Which is, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. And even
a little bit
still,
of bias is always going to.
Yeah, because ultimately I've got Leeds getting 20 points and then Norwich only getting 17 when arguably Norwich are on fucking fire, right? But you're going to get that because I'm a Leeds fan, right? But it's still not enough. It's still not enough because I see Norwich picking up 17. I've got Blades on 19 and us getting 20, which ultimately, if I just get the league table up, it has Norwich winning the league with 95 and Sheffield United and Leeds both on 93, which goal difference wise we ain't going to catch them, which means we finish third. What about yourself, Conor? Where have you got us?
Yeah, so it looks like, bizarrely enough, I've got Norwich to win the league, Leeds creeping into that top 2, and Sheffield United finishing in third. I'll be brutally honest with you guys, the Villa game I was teetering on, and I could see that going either way, to be honest. So I don't know. I'll maybe change that to a draw, which I do unfortunately see Leeds just slipping out. Yeah. I do. I think we've just given ourselves a little bit of a mountain to climb. Listen, we beat Sheffield United. I think we go up.
See, so if we look at that fixture there, the big key one is the Brentford fixture.
Brentford's massive. Yeah,
because the rest are winnable. We can pick up points away. And you're happy with that, you know, you pick the odd point up away, you win your home games. Brentford's massive because you've got 0 points and I've got 1. If that turns into a win, then Leeds are going up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also, aside from the fixtures, Joe, I mean, how have the opposition impressed you this season? You know, we're looking at Sheffield United. We'll look at the Blades first. How have they impressed you?
I really respect Sheffield United.
I do too.
I respect Chris Wilder with what he's done. Like I said before in my pre-match, he's took them from, I think when he came in, I heard on one of the vlogs, he took them from a relegation zone in League One, do you know what I mean? And then
Nigel Clough won it, do you know what I mean? He just couldn't get it.
And he's basically now the second in the Championship, about to get promoted. I really like what they do, and I loved what you said on your video when you said basically they're a bunch of misfits that have all been modelled together into a quality side. Listen, Bielsa's even come out and said himself he would love to play the way Wilder plays with the overlapping centre-backs.
That's what I said on my video. If he was called Crisinho Waldinho, he'd be at Chelsea right now, wouldn't he?
100%.
I mean, I can't. If the overlapping centre halves, you saw Basham against us. He was playing as an attacking midfielder.
Do you know what was key? He said, he said he probably wouldn't have set up that way had they not had the difficult fixture midweek against Brentford.
Brave,
and then he said, so what I did is I switched it round, and to have that tactical nous is top. And like you said, if he was Spanish or whatever, it'd be much higher. And the guy's gone like Halifax. He was at Halifax Town FC Halifax, which is my hometown, and they're like in Vanarama Conference North. You know what I mean? And he's just progressed. And that's what English managers have to do, unfortunately. They're not as lucky.
He's got a lot of respect, hasn't he, as well? Yeah. I like how he conducts himself. Yeah. You know, he really is sort of Sheffield's Bielsa, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, Norwich as well. You've got to give him credit. I quite like, and this for me, this is where we've got to look at Bielsa. We've got to look at keeping him longer because look at the Wilder project at Sheffield United. You look at the Farker project at Norwich, and they've kept these managers. And look what they're doing now. You know, they've had blips. Of course, they have. Each manager has. But Farker last season, they wanted to get rid of him. You know, he's in there. He's got his mould of play, and you know, we talk about Basham going into the middle, but I mean, we were talking about Ellen Road, Stiepermann. He was a left back last season.
Right, so when we were doing this Championship 1 to 11, I was looking through and I'm looking at left backs, and then Stiepermann, and I was like, hang on a minute.
How brilliant was he at Ellen Road?
You know what I mean? He's playing in the centre midfield, so I do really like. Listen, Norwich are very, very good, but for me, they're a meh. So ideally, I wouldn't want them to go up, and that's no disrespect, Norwich fans. But don't get me wrong, I'm impressed. Everybody's impressed.
I think as two Yorkshire sides, we want us and the Blades to go up, don't we?
But yeah, listen, they absolutely pumped us. I know they got lucky, but they're a very good side. I think they've got a bit lucky. I mean, it seems to just bounce off Pookie and end up in the back of the net.
Well, would you add him? Would you add how many others out of that side? You know, you look at Steeperman, you look at the two left back, right back, potentially Tim Krul. I mean, out of that mould, the Norwich mould and the Sheffield United mould, who would you add to that Leeds squad?
I like Aurelio Hernandez.
I think it's quality, better pace on the wing.
And we're missing that on our side, so I'd swap him for a Harrison in a heartbeat.
Brilliant, yeah, good shout.
You know, I like the left back, is it Pinto when he's in?
Yeah. They've got this season, it's Aarons and Lewis though, right, okay. Aarons and Lewis, the two
and Aarons is class.
Unreal.
He's from their youth setup, I believe.
He is, yeah.
So, and Pookie's,
you'd have him there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just one of them one season wonder things where they just have him in season, because he was in Scotland, wasn't he, and not doing great. So is he as good as what?
Yeah.
You know, I think
they picked him up from Celtic, didn't they?
Yeah,
free
I think
transfer. But what a signing it's been.
Unreal.
I mean, what about Blades? Would you take any of their players in the Leeds United setup at the minute?
I like Egan. I've always liked Egan. Solid. I liked him when he was at Brentford. He was that, wasn't he? He's a good, decent ball playing centre half.
Yeah.
And him and Janssen, for example, for me would be. And I know that's no disrespect to Cooper. I just think Egan's a top centre.
Oh, Joe, I mean, 7 clean sheets, second best record in the division.
So good on the ball.
Aside from Borough, they play out from the back. They're a very similar team to Leeds. You know, I mean, I guess
I don't think I'd take anyone else. So it's like you said before, they're a bunch of misfits.
Yeah. It's quite good in the way how he's got them playing though, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But we've had Billy Sharp. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people.
Give him enough time.
No, I know, but a lot of people would say, "Oh, I'd take Billy," but we've had him. I just think at Sheffield United, there's no standouts. It's just it works.
They're a unit, aren't they?
It works.
A proper unit. I think they're a unit with. I think last season as well, though, people always say they're a Saturday League team, Sunday League team that came together. But this year, I think they've added a lot of quality, and I think you've got that same. And Wilder doesn't change his roots, does he? He's a proper manager.
Listen, from a flip side, if people were saying about Leeds, they would probably say, "Oh, we'd take that Pablo Hernandez, or we'd take Janssen, or we'd take Click." But Sheffield United, I don't think many would look at that side and say, "Right, I want him,"
no.
Because it's just
it's attitudes as well, isn't it? They're all on the same page.
They just work.
So I guess with mine and Joe's predictions. The discussion would be, and it's we have to have this discussion, because obviously we're talking about the 3 clubs, and one of them's going to have to fall out. Playoffs.
I hope I'm wrong, guys. I know you.
We all do. We both do.
Really hard, but
we both do. Who's gonna? So if Leeds do get there ultimately, which is what we're thinking, if Leeds do get there, who we're going to come up against, in your opinion, and do you think we'll get to Wembley and the Promised Land again? I don't know. What do you think, honestly?
Who's going to be in there? So there'll be us, West Brom,
I think
Villa, and I think Middlesbrough will. Just because it's Pulis, just because it's Borough, and just because that's what they do.
They're a little bit stronger than Wednesday.
Yeah, they just shithouse their way in. They'll shithouse their way in. I wouldn't. Any of them, I wouldn't like to play over 2 legs. It's shown against Borough. Yes, we're way better than Borough, but look, we've picked up 2 points.
They've also been up before. They've also got experience, haven't they?
You know what I mean, though?
They've got experience.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Borough shithoused us. Honestly.
1-0 and then
0-0, and then right later on, Ayala, Edgar. This is what I'm saying. So I would not want Borough.
No.
I just wouldn't want them, and they've shown that.
Borough's probably the worst out of them all.
Why? Because of the way they set up, mate. It's just, at least if we were to play a Villa or if we were to play West Brom, there's going to be holes. We're going to be able to get at them at times.
Yeah, definitely.
Borough, shut out.
Never.
And that's why I think Borough could get something against Norwich, because it's against them sort of teams. That formation that Pulis plays works. Do you know what I mean?
They only beat them 1-0 at Carrow Road.
There you go.
Norwich. That's when they turned around. It was a game after us. I mean, I think, I agree with Joe. I mean, the team that I would not want to face would be Borough. I agree with Joe, because I think it completely takes out any creativity Leeds have. Our chance creation goes out the window. And Leeds are struggling at that point.
People will be watching this video now, right, and probably be saying, "What are you talking about? The quality that Villa have, or the quality that West." Yeah, but in terms of 11 v 11, there's going to be opportunities. The games have shown that. There were 5 goals in the Villa game. There's been fucking 8 9-8 in the West Brom Leeds game, 4-1, 4-0. But in the Borough game, it was 0-0 and 1-0, and we scored in the 112th minute or whatever it was. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the team that would stifle us, and over 2 legs. Oh, I can just imagine it now. Ayala back post, 90th minute, bam, Leeds out.
I've got a couple of mates who are Borough fans, and I won't be surprised if they went up. Still, they're just their ability to shut teams out. I think Villa would be a real task. I think defensively we'd have to be 10 out of 10 against
game,
Villa.
If we can get to the final, our backers, one-off game, it's just...
Villa, take us back to 1996
oh,
against Villa in that final.
One-off game at Wembley. Listen, this is a good point as well, right? At the start of the season, if you were given the opportunity of going up first or second, or a day out at Wembley,
Playoffs.
winning, you're taking it all day. So,
but we never do it, do we? We always lose. I understand that. I've been there twice with Leeds, and it's awful. But you know, out of each team, who do you think's been their best player? So we'll start with Leeds. Best player this season.
For me personally, KP, but Pablo. As a collective, do you see what I'm saying? So I can understand why people will go for Pablo, but for me personally, I don't know why I've included Pablo, because you just asked for me. So KP.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just go Pablo. I think KP's been excellent. Yeah. I think if you're talking about the most improved player this season, definitely KP. Yeah. I just think without imagine Pablo, without Pablo, you know, we don't have that size link anymore. He used to be able to create things for us. You take Pablo out of that side, and I think we're a pretty average team, if I'm honest. What about Norwich? What do you reckon? Who do you reckon's their standout?
It's got to be Pookie, hasn't it? Yeah,
it's got to be Pookie, I think.
I do really like that Oriol Hernandez though.
It's a cracking player.
Every time I've seen him, he's a bit of a tank as well, you know. I really like him, and I could see him progressing into the Prem and doing well.
Yeah, he's a right find. Definitely. I'd probably have a shout out to Norwich. I think they've got a whole host. I'd probably take Aaron's. Buendia, you know, Vrancic. They've got a lot of Vrancic's got that free kick against us.
They're a good side.
They're a very good side. Blades, anyway, who would you take?
Who would I take? I wouldn't take any of them. Okay. I'd never take Egan, but who do I think's been the best player? She's got Billy.
Yeah,
Billy.
I think natural finisher.
Yeah,
I'd probably take Sharp as well. I just think, 22 goals at the age of 34. I mean, he's getting better, isn't he? He's getting better.
Do you know what? It's so funny because I remember when he was at Leeds, and I think I was talking to a Scunthorpe fan, and he gave me a bit of stick because I was like, he's done Billy Sharp, League One's his level. Yeah, we did no good for us, and look what he's done. He's just continued to get better.
Proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, proved everyone wrong.
Fat lad from Sheffield, isn't
he? Exactly. Well, at the game, mate, when he did the old elbow, Janssen, I was giving it you fat. It is what it is.
But yeah, so that's it really, guys. I mean, we hope you've enjoyed it. It's been something a little bit different. We've come up to a bit different setting up with Newcastle.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a lovely day.
York next, I think.
York next, yeah. I mean, if you're Norwich, Sheffield United, leave your comments in the section below. Let us know what you think, me and Joe. That's the reason we've done this.
Yeah.
Want to interact with you new fans on the channel as well. Let us know what your 1 to 3 is.
1, 2, 3, and points. Like I say, listen, I've got us and Sheffield United finishing on the same points.
Goal difference, yeah.
And that's without us losing the game, and can we really say that we'll go 8 undefeated? So that's maybe being a little bit favourable, and that tells me unfortunately that we might drop out, which is sad, but I hope I am wrong. And for me, that Brentford game's key, and also the alternate fixtures of Preston and Birmingham.
Yeah. As I say, guys, hope you enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like on the video, and we'll see you in a bit.